divine inspiration, that divine knowing that's there waiting for us. So here we go.
Will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free, as I continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day, and I'm more loving every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment, every day.
Good morning, Unity of Payson. For those of you here in the Sawmill Theater, can you hear me now? Is the volume? We have to get all of our audio in the right place. I'm delighted that you're here this morning, and I'd like to begin with us quieting, although I think that gathering music was so beautiful that it quieted us. So let's maintain that quiet as we have an opening prayer. God of all goodness, we come with grateful hearts this morning. Grateful for those little blessings that have dotted this past week. Grateful for the challenges that have moved us forward, that have made us stronger. And grateful for those who accompany us on this journey, this community, and those with whom we connect. We're grateful too for those that we remember who may not be with us physically any longer. And we know that in the oneness that is all, they are not lost to us. We are yet connected. So we remember them and their inspiration, and we take that to heart, and we live that out in our own lives as we look for our highest, best self. As we work on that, we do the soul work that brings us to that place. Again, we are so grateful for all who have joined with us this morning. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning, all. My name's Betty Daly, and I'm on platform for today. We're glad that you're all here, whether you're virtual or whether you're here in person. If you are new, we invite you to stay, if you're here in person, to stay after and join us in the lobby for a little meet and greet. We'd like to get to know you a little better. And if you're online, you are certainly welcome to give us your information in the chat so we can say hello. And so whether you are new, whether people have not found us, let's say our opening blessing. We love you, we bless you, and we welcome you. And now we have our first opening song called First by Lauren Daigle. I don't think I know this one. So let's enjoy.
Before I bring my need, I will bring my heart. Before I lift my cares, I will lift my arms. I wanna know you, I wanna find you in every season, in every moment. Before I bring my need, I will bring my heart and seek you. Speak a word, let me hear your voice. And in the midst of pain, let me feel your joy. Ooh, I wanna know you, I wanna find you in every season, in every moment. Before I speak a word, I will bring my heart and seek you. Let nothing ever come before. my treasure and my reward. Let nothing ever come before I seek you.
I almost got my tambourine out on that one. A great reminder too that before you take your action steps, go within. So, boy, we had lots going on this week. Grateful for everybody that is part of our community and for how everybody volunteers and contributes. And so this week, of course, we had our morning cafe, our intender circle, of course, the Course in Miracles on Tuesday, and the World Day of Prayer. We had that on Thursday evening. And what a success. Thank you, Tom, for the Sunset on the Rim last night. There were 10 of us. There were 3 drums and all kinds of rattles and shakers. And we just had a really good time. Tom said that there's probably still time to do that a couple more times before it gets cold. So we invite everybody to come out for that. So it was a really good time. So Unity is grounded in affirmative prayer and in meditation. And we do have trained prayer chaplains. And it looks like, besides, of course, Rev Neal, I'm it for today. So you can tap me on the shoulder if you need any prayer support after service. If you want prayer support personally, if you would like one of our trained prayer chaplains to call you, the number is on the screen, 928-235-7142. Should put my glasses on. And if you want to be directly contacted, please leave your phone number or an email and we will get back with you. We hold them sacred, confidential for 30 days here, and then they are sent on to Silent Unity, where they're prayed over again for another 30 days in this amazing, beautiful prayer chapel that they have. And so our theme this month continues with order. I flow with the order of the universe. And of course, our speaker is our own Reverend Neal, and his talk title is Everything Starts with Thought. And so the metaphysical moment. I chose to go ahead and read the daily word, but then I had some additional thoughts that I had on it and change the quote. You know me, I have to change everything. So the word today is guidance. I open my mind and heart to receive my guidance. Sometimes I have insisted on figuring things out for myself rather than asking for anyone's help. Over the years, I have learned the value of asking for guidance and sharing what I've learned when others ask me. As we exchange ideas, we may tap into a higher wisdom that had not been apparent to either of us alone. This higher wisdom is not outside myself. It is a still, small voice, mine to call upon at any time. I am always able to ask for guidance to show me the way forward. I access my inner guidance by opening my mind and heart in meditation. Then I watch and listen, remembering that divine guidance may come in a familiar way or perhaps in an unexpected way that will surprise and delight me. And from Einstein, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited, but imagination encircles the world. And my thoughts on that, especially this weekend, you know, as we're holding 9/11 in our hearts. I can't believe it's been 20 years already. But I don't so much want to hold that idea as sort of what's happened in the 20 years since that. And what I have observed is in a lot of people, a rise in fear, confusion, and it seems division in all areas, even in our healthcare things that are going on right now. So where do we find peace in these times? To be able to focus on all the good that is happening in the world. And like the daily word, we go within, and like Einstein, we use our imagination. And so your inner world is of your own design completely. So if you could wave a magic wand and create the world exactly the way that you wanted it, how would that be? Would there be more compassion in the world? Would there be food for everyone? Maybe the weather would calm down in your world. However you want it, imagine that to be so. And imagine the feeling that you would have as that comes into reality. The joy and that sense of deep peace that you would have. So create that in your mind in every detail that you can and hold on to it. Add your energy to all the rest of us that are holding a vision for a different world. The blueprint for our world's evolution into spirit and into oneness. Hold this and feel it daily. Don't feel daily the confusion or the upset by watching the news about it all the time. Hold to the peace from your very own vision. Bring that feeling out every day, walk it every day, and be grateful. And so it is. Oh, and now Rev Neal will share his message.
Everything starts with thought was the title that I gave to this about 3 weeks ago, because in order to publish what where we're going for the month, we need to, well, I need to get my titles in so that Terry can publish them, and a little description about that. Everything starts with thought. Thought is work. It's soul work when we give ourselves to the highest and best. And that soul work is indeed confusing at times, sometimes a little bit hazardous, certainly worth the result. So if I were to title this message today, I would say, get a hard hat, do the soul work. Get a hard hat, do the soul work. Between Arizona and Nevada, the mighty Colorado River runs. And during the Depression, that Colorado River was harnessed in a way with an amazing, massive construction program. One that employed as many as 5,000 people at one time. And I'm sure you know what it is. It was the Hoover Dam. well, is the Hoover Dam. And that massive construction project did a number of things. One, it created a collection basin for the inlet of water that came with the Colorado River. That collection basin, of course, is the largest reservoir in the United States, Lake Mead. It's where much of our water for the state of Arizona, at least in some areas, that's where the water comes from, in California and in Nevada as well, and a little bit in other places. So that wonderful construction project, it took a little bit less than 7 years, but it was massive. The amounts of concrete that were put into that dam to create Lake Mead were unbelievable. The dam was kind of convex as it faced the Colorado River coming toward it, and it created that convex dam. And through the spillways of that dam, the outlets of that, the hydroelectric power was produced, and water, of course, for those downstream from the Hoover Dam. We talked about hard hats. I'm not sure that it happened back in the Depression, but if we were to have such a project today, we'd see 5,000 yellow hard hats running around like ants on that project. So that ties in with what I'd like to share today. Let me review just a little bit, though. If you remember from last week, we talked about the Trinity that we look at in unity, and I use the terms thinker, thought, and action. And we talked mostly about thinker. And by thinker, we meant in its original sense, the divine substance, the divine source of everything. And we described it as all good, all knowing, all present. And then we realized that that is mirrored in our lives as well. So we too are a thinker. Today we want to move on to the second part of that Trinity, and that's thought. Thought, and thus the title that I started with, everything starts with thought. From the human perspective, our mind is our thinking instrument, or at least we look at it that way. So using that thinking instrument in the soul work, I say, get a hard hat, because we're going for soul work. Remember how I talked about Lake Mead having formed that massive reservoir? That was an inlet. That dam created an inlet for the collection of that precious water. And then, of course, there was an outlet of that. The same is true in our looking at the divine. The divine in the thought process, from that emerges divine idea, that perfection of all that is to come and all that is to be created. Divine idea. And that divine idea in its perfection is what we would emulate if we would want to connect with the oneness that we are. So we might call that idea. Those ideas that stemming from that universal idea of the divinity, or whichever term you would like to use for the divine. From that original idea, that original good idea, come divine ideas that are transmitted to us as divine creations. And those divine ideas, many of them we know. Well, they're things that you would want to have be a part of your life. Betty mentioned some of them: peace, joy. The 12 powers that we talk about, of course, the one we talk about this month is order. And all of those 12 powers, those are divine ideas that come to us. And they're a template which we can live by. So we also have our own human ideas. And the soul work that I talked about is the blend of that divine idea, those divine ideas and those of our personality, because we are all very unique. We are unique and authentic in our own right. And so we have choice. And that soul work is the work of blending spirit and personality to produce, as we will talk about next week, expression in our lives, that which we create. So as we work with ideas, we're going to run into a roadblock or two. We're going to get derailed sometimes, or at least that's been my experience. We're going to be distracted. And what we want to do is to put that hard hat on. I got one here. Put that hard hat on. And the hard hat is going to do a couple of things. One, if there's any falling debris, that's just going to be shed to the side, not going to hurt me. And then you notice on this hard hat here, there are little light receptors. Those light receptors are where we take those divine ideas and appropriate them to ourselves in our own lives. And those divine ideas then become an expression that is for the highest and best. We did, as I mentioned, have those personality ideas, or we might call them ego ideas. So as we're blending, we may have a certain percentage of divine ideas, certain percentage of personality ideas, and we blend that and we have an expression. Of course, the desire for the highest and the best makes us want to receive those spirit-led ideas and to allow our own unique expression to be in alignment with that. I like to think of this soul work as creating a bridge. The Hoover Dam did another thing other than just make that great reservoir. It connected Arizona and Nevada. There was a bridge, if you will, at the top of that dam, a 2-lane road, highway, Route 93, I believe, US 93, that would go across that to span the Colorado River in a different kind of way than it had been spanned before. So I like to think that we, as we work with spirit and personality, are building a bridge and working with ideas, divine ideas, and yes, our own personal and sometimes ego-originated ideas. We're working with ideas toward a particular expression that we want in the future. So keep your hard hat on, because you're going to need it for, one, the receptors of those divine ideas. And they don't really come from above, but it kind of looked good to put these things on the hard hat. Felt nice to put those light receptors up there. But those light receptors really come from within, because the divine is resident within each and every one of us. That building a bridge in consciousness is the idea of taking heart and mind and bridging them together. Now, mind we might think of as intellect, and Heart we might think of as intuition. And those two, when they work together, allow the expression of divine ideas for the highest and for the best. So that bridge of heart and mind in consciousness, a couple of things are true of it. One, we have to build it. We're maybe always in the process of building it, because sometimes we have to repair it, and then we have to maintain it. So this bridge building that's going on for us as we receive divine ideas, incorporate them with our own personality to express in this world what we desire, and sometimes we express what we don't desire. This is the important path for us to follow in working with heart and mind, and working with ideas, divine ideas and our own. So the question is, how do you really do that? It's not necessarily like falling off a log. It is a little bit of work, soul work, as you said, because one, we have to focus. If we're working with ideas, we have to focus. We have to choose. This is a matter of choice, what we're going to focus on. Betty talked about it. Maybe we don't watch the news as much. Maybe we focus on those things that inspire us. Maybe we focus on that sense of the divine within us. Maybe we focus on a community that is loving and supporting. Maybe we focus on those who are like-minded to us. But we take that focus and we build that. We repair it when we lose it. We sometimes are going to go get distracted and we're going to go to the side. So when we do that, we can repair that. The focus requires us to shed those thoughts that would rain down like debris, to let them just pass us on by. So part of it is letting go those thoughts and looking for the thought of our choice, the divine idea that's there for us to express. Not only do we focus, and Eddie, you mentioned this in what you shared about holding. We hold that thought. Sometimes I think that's the most critical thing that we miss. We don't hold, we choose the thought, yes, but after a while we get a little tired and we don't hold on to that thought. We don't hold it to us. In Unity, we talk about the law of mind action. Law of mind action says thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. There's a holding process that's necessary. And that's very much a bit of mind work. Choice is mind work. It's mind work to hold, but it's also a little bit of a heart work to make that happen. And then there's the sustaining, the maintenance of this thought. How do we keep it running through? Is it sustainable? We talk about sustainable. Is it sustainable in the long run? If it's sustainable, we in fact must be doing the soul work to make it so. I'd like to share an experience that I've had that I think is part of my learning of this process, the process of taking divine ideas, incorporating them with my personality, with my heart's desires, and looking toward the end result that I really want to see and that I am going to create. It's a simple one. About a month and a half ago, I began, when I get up in the morning, feeling like my left knee just was gonna give out on me. Never did, but it just felt weak. It felt like it was gonna give out on me. It created a little pain for me. I went for my annual physical a few weeks ago. And when I spoke with my doctor, I found out that his diagnosis was that I had a torn meniscus in that knee. But I wasn't happy with that because I wanted the knee to be free of pain and I wanted to lose that sense of weakness that was there. So I chose to focus on my knee as whole. I chose to focus on the knee by praising it for the work it did, for lauding it for its perfection, and seeing it in the future as holding me up firmly and strongly. Few inspirations came along, like lavender lotion on it, and like praying over it, holding that energy of divine wholeness there. I'm happy to say in this simple example for me, the knee changed. Well, maybe it didn't really change. Maybe it became what it really was, a knee of wholeness, a knee of solidness, a knee of support, a knee that was free from pain. It's a small thing for me, and I guess I learn in small steps. But I'm grateful for the opportunity to use this understanding that there are divine ideas that we can focus on, that we can hold, and that we can sustain. And as we do that, we're building, we're repairing, we're restoring that which we desire. It's work. It absolutely is work, but it's soul work, that blend of spirit and your unique personality. So I recommend, there'll be tough times, debris will rain down, but light is available and can be received. So get a hard hat, do the soul work. I challenge you to do that. And I challenge myself as well, and so it is.
Thanks, Neil. Love the hard hat. So we're going to prepare for meditation now. And our meditation song is Divine Order by Sue Riley.
Let there be less of me, let there be more of thee, less of the human, more of the divine, less that belongs to me, more that is thine, more of God's nature, and less that is mine. Order and harmony now are in place. Where there is harmony, discord will cease. Where there is harmony, there will be peace. Not personality, individuality, more of the Christ self shining through me. Teach me humility, let me your servant be. Give me serenity, selfless and free. order and harmony now are in place. Where there is harmony, discord will cease. Where there is harmony, there will be peace. Let there be less of me, let there be more of thee, less of the human, more of the divine, less of the human, more of the divine, less of the human, more of the divine.
Take this opportunity with me now to quiet your mind, your body, your breathing, and to be in that beautiful stillness that is the one. Know that you are fully human and you are fully divine. Created in the image and the likeness of the divine. And in that place of fully human, fully divine, spend time with me now, choosing what it is about you that is uniquely you. Let one thought seep into your heart. Feel it and know it. Shift your gaze and your perspective to your divinity. And looking from that divine perspective, imagine the greatest expression of the highest and best that you can think of. What would that expression be? So two expressions: your passion, your uniqueness, the divine sense of highness, highest and best. Now create a bridge between that humanness and that divinity. That intellect and that intuition. That mix of divine and human knowing. What does that look like for you? And it is from that bridge that you look to the left and look to the right and know that heart and mind together will express that which is yours to express, will express that which you desire in the greatest possible way. So sit with that expression of heart and mind, including all of the divinity of you and all of the humanity of you. What does that express? Sit for a few moments in the silent. And in that solitude, know that this is possible. Know that that dream that you have for yourself, that vision that you have of the greatest good is possible. So take this thought: I am divine. I am human. Nothing is impossible. Think on this. You've been out there in that field of infinite possibility. It's time to don the hard hat, get back to the soul work. So bring your awareness back to this time and this place, wherever that place is for you. And know that you are never unsupported in this. This is your destiny. This is truly you. Move your fingers, move your toes, and bring yourself physically back to this place. And so it is.
It's always good to have those reminders to live your life after you've sort of done that heart and mind check-in. And it's like, let's be aligned before we step forward. Sort of like in the morning. Let's see, do I have my shoes on? Do I have my purse? I have my glass? Okay, now I can step out into the world. So now's the time for our gifts and our offerings. And if you are online, there will be a slide up where you can go to unityofpayson.org, and you'll have plenty of time as we play the offertory song. You can go to there and hit the donate button, or we have a PO box if you choose to send that in. And here in person, we will be passing the baskets. And so hold in your heart what your intention is. This is a physical expression of what you want to project out into the world. So together, let's say that. Freely we give and freely we receive. And so the PO box is 2582 Payson 85547. The PO box has a different zip code than our regular address. And our offertory song is Together We Can Change the World. Yes, we can.
Change
a start. Together we can change the world. What if we spoke with one voice, knowing that we have a choice? Together we can change the world. Can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for your help. Together we can change the world. Sail past where it's been started, roll your sleeves up, let's get started. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. Change your mind and change your life. Set aside the fear and strife. Together we can change the world. When we open up our eyes, then we start to realize. Together we can change the world. Change your mind. Can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for your help. Together we can change the world. Change your mind. Sail past where it's been charted, roll your sleeves up, let's get started. Together we can change the world. Change your mind. Can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for your help. Together we can change the world. Change your mind. Sail past where it's been charted, roll your sleeves up, let's get started. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe it's not too late. Together we can change the world.
This is Ed, one of our amazing volunteers. Thank you, Ed. So it's our time to bless the offerings. And if you can say the affirmation with me. Divine love through us blesses and multiplies all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. We are abundantly prosperous, and we give thanks. Thanks, Ed. Oh, I loved that song. That was like, you know, how many of us have observed that the children that are born today, or for the last X number of years, they sort of come in knowing that they have this power to have impact and to change things. And how many issues around the world have been taken up by children and spoken about publicly, and they just go ahead and create organizations to handle things. I love it. So yay for the kids. Okay, we have our announcements. So next week we continue on with the theme of order. I flow with the order of the universe. And our speaker will once again be Reverend Neal. To act is to manifest, which he kind of touched on this morning. So we have quite a few announcements. We have been busy little bees, active. So we have our usual morning cafe, Monday through Saturday, 9:30 in the morning online. Great time. We have a reading and then we talk and laugh. Really fun. Okay. And next we have, yes, the metaphysical understanding of sacred text. Tuesday, September 14th and the 28th at 6 o'clock. This will be a Zoom only. Is this going to be at K's also? Oh, and at K's. Okay, so Zoom only. I thought that was. There was some discussion. So that has changed to Zoom only. And Neal will be speaking a little bit more about that in his PS. So, and we heard that Rick is getting the men's group going again. And so that will be September 15th at noon. at the Pizza Factory. Always conducive to conversation to eat pizza. Okay. And next we have What's It All About? With Kay and Marianne being our hostesses for that. And that is September 15th from 6 to 7 in the evening. And that also is Zoom. All of these things are also a love offering basis. So do remember that. And then we have, once again, thank you so much, Tom, Energy Thursday. And that will be September 16th at 6 o'clock in the evening. And he will, last time he really introduced us in depth to. Well, there you go. Go ahead.
I'm your host.
Go ahead, Jerry, play that first.
September 9th is our next one. We're going to be working with the chakras. We're going to be placing the stones, using a laser wand, using a pendulum, and we're also going to lay out an array so that you get a sense of how to put one together. And then that will be used later in the year. So I hope to see you 6:30. Be sure and call Kay Adams. She's the one that hosts it, and we will have a limit of 8 again because of the COVID restrictions and just the space that we have available. So I hope to see you then, 6:30, September 9th.
So on there you had said 6:30, and I had on my notes 6.
Yeah, I think we're going to
6 o'clock. Right. Yeah, we switched everything to kind of be the same time slot because that was confusing for some of us that some things were 6 and some were 6:30. So we'll be at 6. Oh, is that what? Oh, it's September 16th. Yes, that got changed again also because of World Day of Prayer. So things got jostled around a little bit. Okay, Neil, and you have a PS for us.
Yes, I want to just recap a little bit. So metaphysics for us at Unity is exploration of things that are a little deeper, a little beyond the physical, the literal, the apparent. And we look for that spiritual truth that is deeper. That's there in all sacred texts. And there are a bunch of them. I had a teacher that said to me, I have a poet that writes just so beautifully that this is a sacred text for me. So we're going to look at maybe not that poet, but we're going to look at a number of different sacred texts and how to look beyond the apparent, look beyond the literal, look for that spiritual meaning that resonates with us. So two session class, the spiritual interpretation of texts. One more thing I want to just mention, in the lobby, there's a table with some petitions on it. It has to do with issues that are aligned with Unity principles. In Unity, Unity Worldwide talks about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Take a look at that, see whether that's calling to you and whether you want to add your support to that. Unity is not officially endorsing that, but saying it's an alignment you consider because you have a choice. So I think that's all I've got. So we'll go on to, if you're here in the theater, please stand with us and we'll sing the peace song and the prayer for protection. And this will be the end of our service today. And then of course, we'll socialize a little bit here. Do connect with us if you're here with us online so that we can socialize in that way. Here we go.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Now we walk with each other.
protection. Wait for the recording.
The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Betty. Thank you.
Love your metaphysical moment and how it coordinated with Neal's talent. Yeah.